We switched from the iPhone 13 mini to the 17 Pro.
And the 16 Pro to the iPhone 17.
And we wanted to see which one was really the best choice this year. The 17 Pro is the typical choice, the best of the best tech, packed into a smaller form factor than a Pro Max.
Or the iPhone 17, upgraded to a 120Hz ProMotion display and packing an incredible battery that kind of make it the best value iPhone that we've ever seen.
So follow us as we switch to these latest phones to see which one is really worth the money. So when I was making this video, I wanted to follow both my journey as a tech reviewer going from the 4-year-old 13 mini, the smallest phone in the lineup, and then Eric, your average consumer, but going from last year's top of the line Pro series and settling down to the lowest new phone in the lineup. Now that would normally be seen as a downgrade, but I have a feeling that it won't actually be Eric's experience on this one. Let's see.
I switched from the iPhone 16 Pro to the iPhone 17. For the past few years, I've always stayed with the Pro lineup phone, mainly for the camera and the screen resolution.
Okay, so first impressions of the phone. It is noticeably thicker, honestly, but I like the feeling of the phone. Like, this is an aluminum and it's sort of a soft touch finish to it, which is great.
This year, I'm looking forward to testing the battery life and the performance of the iPhone 17.
But the big question here is, am I going to be able to actually switch from a super light and thin and small phone over to something that's this big and this thick and this heavy for the long term? We'll see how this goes. So I wanted to get some of the usual tech stuff out of the way and let you know as a starting point what's actually different about these two phones. This is the iPhone 17 Pro, Apple's current best phone on the market, with an updated aluminum unibody design packing a 6.3-inch ProMotion display. We've got the same familiar controls like the action button, the camera control, but now with slightly thinner bezels around the screen, a new camera plateau that spans the length of the phone. And you might think that's to pack in the camera system, but really it's to pack in basically everything else. Because this year Apple shoved literally everything up into that part of the phone to make room for a much larger battery and vapor cooling chamber to prevent overheating. It's sort of just Apple saying, here, take everything you asked for. We're just gonna sacrifice on design and give you what Pro really means. And that's exactly what they delivered on. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved the sharpness and the flatness of the iPhone 13 mini, but they are really onto something for something that feels more unique and just different than we're used to on an iPhone. I mean, we've been saying they haven't been changing for years, but here we go. And the two-tone look is really growing on me. Let me know what you guys think about that difference. Now on the flip side, we've got the iPhone 17, the base model, lowest and cheapest phone in this year's lineup, but with more than meets the eye, because you're getting a design that's more vibrant, thinner, and way lighter, but with the same 6.3-inch display that's 120Hz ProMotion for the first time on a base model, an aluminum frame and color-infused glass soft touch back, and two huge and incredible cameras, without the extravagant camera plateau. And you'd guess that a thinner phone with similar specs means that the battery gets sacrificed here, but honestly, you'd be wrong, because Apple quotes just 3 hours less battery life than that of the Pro lineup. It's an overall phone that not only breaks the rules of what a baseline phone is, but it gets packaged into something that sort of just feels too good to be true.
I'm loving the weight of the phone and how the camera bump is also much smaller on the 17 than the 17 Pro. The display is also very smooth and I haven't had any performance issues.
It's kind of interesting here because two things are happening that I never would have expected. First, Apple's breaking all of their own rules with this one. Usually, you would pack what we would call Pro features, high quality cameras, 120Hz ProMotion display, and even headline features that are new to that year, like the front-facing camera having center stage and upgraded 18-megapixel camera, into just the Pro lineup, and then you bring last year's features to the base lineup this year. But this year, Apple kind of just gave it all to the iPhone 17. So then the question is, if that's the case, why would you even choose a Pro phone? I guess it really just comes down to camera and performance upgrades. But then the second thing that in the tech community we're obsessed with is 120Hz displays. And we've been so mad at Apple for not bringing it to all of the phones for so many years. It is not that much more expensive. But we also acknowledge that, you, the general consumer, wouldn't even notice or care about it. But what we're seeing now is a lot of people opting for that base model phone, and the reason is that upgraded display, which really shocked me.
The 120Hz display was definitely a deciding factor for me. My work phone has a 60Hz display and I really notice a difference when switching between the two devices.
Now, if you're one of those people who recently picked up your brand new iPhone 17 or 17 Pro, you probably want to protect it. That's where today's sponsor TAC comes in. These are the premium case for both the iPhone 17 Pro and the iPhone 17. We have been loving these cases, not only because they're protective, but they're a really thin and really light case that let you see the beauty of your phone, including that amazing new two-tone look of the iPhone 17 Pro that I love. I have reviewed a lot of clear cases on the channel, and I love these ones because they're made of a high-quality polycarbonate and plastic design that's both anti-yellowing and just feels nice in the hand. Just look at how it rounds around the corners of the phone so precisely. It looks awesome. TAC also chose not to cover the buttons here, which let you feel the premium buttons of your phone and maintain responsiveness, but then also contribute to making this feel like such an ultra-thin case. But if you're not sold on the clear case, how about the Onyx Clear option, coming with a tinted finish for a darker shade, and includes blacked out MagSafe magnets? Let me know what you guys think about this one. And if you guys want to pick up a TAC case in either the Diamond Clear option or the Onyx Clear option, I'll leave links in the description. Be sure to use my discount code VittorTech at checkout for 10% off your order. Thanks to TAC for sponsoring this mid-roll. Now, back to the video. Speaking of cameras, this is the most important difference between a base lineup iPhone and a Pro phone. People ask me to explain this all of the time, and I'll go into a bit more detail, but a quick summary. Both phones have 48 megapixel cameras if you are taking photos at 1x zoom. The Pro has another lens that means at 4x zoom, you're still getting that full 48 megapixel quality. So that means right from 1x zoom on the 17, as you zoom, you're immediately making the quality worse. So by the time you get to 4x zoom, your quality is already 4x worse than the Pro, whereas the Pro just starts stretching the image at that 4x. And you can imagine as you continue to zoom in on both phones, the 17 just gets exponentially worse in quality compared to that Pro.
Now, I'm no photographer, but this camera really has done the job for me. I haven't noticed any downfalls or anything missing from the Pro line phone that I had before.
Okay, so I know technically the right thing to do in this segment is to tell you about like these fancy new rear cameras, but I honestly think that the part that isn't getting enough attention here is the front cameras, because they are now upgraded with higher megapixels, and it really just feels like the quality difference between the front and back cameras are finally bridged to the point where you're just always getting a good photo on an iPhone. And I think that's really gonna be probably the biggest feature that everyone notices when they get this phone. Okay, so I wanted to take a second and talk about battery life, but it's really not that big of a segment for the first time in a long time. Apple rearranged the components of the Pro phone. They even removed the SIM tray, making it eSIM only for the first time worldwide. And they did all of that to fit in a massive battery that now quotes up to 33 hours of video playback, which is incredible. But maybe what's more incredible here is that they did something similar on the iPhone 17 to create a similar battery with just 3 hours less of battery life.
Battery life has been great. My usage is fairly low at around 35%. On-screen time, 3 hours. Idle time, 6 hours. Overall, I found the battery life to be great.
Okay, so battery health check here. I am at 89% and I am halfway through my day already. So that kind of tells you everything that you need to know. My average daily usage of my battery, currently 13%. My average, 20% of my battery. It is insane. My current battery health is 100%, my cycle count is 109. Even if I look at my most recent days, when I used 89% of my battery, that was with 7 hours and 41 minutes of active screen time and another 14 and a half hours of screen idle. I mean, this is just like insane. I don't think I could actually use this full battery in one single day. Like I used to be somebody who put my phone on the charger every single night. I'm not convinced based on these stats that I would even need to at this point. So the question after running this test, between the iPhone 17 and 17 Pro, which one is really better value? And which one should you honestly choose if you're thinking about upgrading this year?
For less money, I think the iPhone 17 really delivers. If you don't need a Pro camera and maybe a few extra hours of battery life, I think it's the way to go.
Honestly, I love the iPhone 17 Pro, and I've been really happy with it. But I do think this is the first year that for a lot of people, I'm recommending that they just go with the 17 base model. It's way thinner and it's lighter, and with a majority of the same features, but at a much lower price point. The only people who should still stick to that Pro are people who got used to the exceptional Pro Series cameras and don't want to part with that quality. But I really want to know, which of these phones are you considering picking up this year? If you already got one, are you loving it or are you regretting it? Let me know that in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.